let's go over the season finale of Invincible. Hello everyone, my name's MJ, and today we're going to be reviewing and discussing the spoilers for the season finale of Invincible. So yeah, we're finally there at the season finale of Invincible, and just before the finale aired, we got the confirmation of the second and third seasons. So it's been renewed for 2 more seasons. That's absolutely incredible that it's been renewed for 2 more at the same time. Hopefully we'll get a confirmation of more seasons. I think the whole story could probably be told. I would actually say in like 6 seasons. I think if they kept it tight, they've got through so much in this series. Yes, they've changed the order of things, but they've got through so much. I think it could be condensed into 6. I think that'd be really good. 7 would be ample. I think anything more would maybe be stretching it out. And I really like the sort of less is more condensed, good quality TV shows. Anyway, let's go on with the spoilers of this episode. So it opens up and we have the sort of the fight between Invincible and Omni-Man, and also the explanation of his true heritage and the truth about Viltrumites from Nolan, him saying it to Mark. And we go through the backstory of Viltrumite, which is absolutely incredible. I loved the animation here, seeing all of the ruthlessness, and I love the buildings and the design of Viltrumite here as well. It looks really like high tech and advanced, of course, as it should do, but then the brutality of them and their ruthlessness as well. We also get our first look at some really prominent Viltrumite figures here. So we see Craig, we see Conquest, and I had to double check on Thula's name because I forgot it. Thula, she is a lesser character. She's not featured as prominently in the series, but yeah, the other 2, particularly Conquest. Oh my god, it's cool seeing Conquest. He is so big, muscular and beefy, as he obviously should be. But he is one gnarly looking Viltrumite, and yeah, we're in for a treat when he shows up. Going back to the fight with between Mark and Nolan, aka Invincible and Omni-Man, really brutal, really heartfelt. This is such a cool and unique fight. There's so much emotional investment here that it really does feel a level above sort of normal superhero fights. It really does. This is an incredibly emotionally powerful fight, and seeing like the way that Nolan is talking is just like absolutely horrendous. Like everything he is saying is like just awful, and the fact that Debbie is having to watch it over at the headquarters building for the government, yeah, is absolutely horrifying. In fact, yeah, sort of the theme throughout this episode for me was like just the absolute heartbreak that you feel for Debbie and everything she's going through. It's mental. And yeah, the fight with Invincible and Omni-Man has been it's had like an incredibly darker twist added onto it in this series in comparison to the comics. So in the comics there is definitely collateral damage, but we sort of almost see that damage from you know, quite far back. We don't really get the granular detail here. There's also not the sadism that Nolan shows here, which is absolutely horrible. Like Mark saves the guy from the fighter pilot and Nolan just crumbles his head right in front of him and splatters the blood all over his son, and it's like, wow. That is, like, my jaw was on the floor for all of this. It's insane. Really, really good art direction in this as well, if you would call it cinematography. This shot of Chicago getting basically half leveled is really, really nice. Really nicely directed how it comes through the different barriers, and also does a really brilliant job of showing how powerful Omni-Man is. Invincible got a few punches in throughout this fight, essentially didn't stand a chance. He was just getting absolutely steamrolled. And the train scene is absolutely horrendous. My god, Nolan is basically torturing Mark here, torturing him, forcing him to see, like holding him out in front of the train. He's forcing him to see all this death, damage and destruction, and he's trying to like make him feel guilty for it as if it's his fault. Like, it's, oh man, it's so dark. And I think they've done, they've made their job of redeeming Nolan so hard. Yeah, it's crazy. I want to give a shout out to the colours of this episode, because this scene here looked absolutely beautiful with the sun setting. Absolutely stunning colours. And yeah, we're just seeing Mark getting absolutely completely decimated by Nolan. He's being just horrible. And this scene I thought was really clever, where Nolan keeps beating on him, literally kicking the shit out of him, punching him relentlessly, punching him so hard he's knocking his teeth out. And then we get a flashback for Mark playing baseball, and the whole family's there, and it's a really good scene. Sort of seeing Nolan coming round to like humanity for the first time, I guess. And of course the knocking of the teeth out reminds Nolan of his younger son, and that's ultimately what sets him off and sends him on his way. Absolutely love the shot of Mark looking just completely fucked up. This was, or of course, basically this shot is pretty much the cover to issue. This is basically the cover to issue 12. But actually, it reminded me more of the cover to issue 63. Yeah, the cover to issue 63 is one of my favourite covers, and it's like the detail in the face. The face just looks horrendous, absolutely mental. I do wonder about his teeth. I wonder if the government surgically put them back in, or if Viltrumites are able to regrow their teeth. I don't remember if that subject is covered in the comics, but sort of be quite interested to hear that. Then we see our first sort of little teases for the future here, with the Mauler twins getting recaptured by the government. So that's really... I keep calling them the government. Is that even right? Should I be calling them a different name? Cecil's cronies, the Invincible Squad. I'm not going to call them the Invincible Squad, actually. That's... nah. But yeah, Mauler twins, great to see them. And we get so many teasers at the end of the episode, which we'll get onto in a minute. Debbie and Cecil, this scene here is really nice. See, again, I think they've done a good job of making Cecil a bit more compassionate. He doesn't, no, to be fair, he's like that in the comics as well. It's just he will do whatever he needs to do to get the job done, but he is very caring, and his ruthlessness comes from a point of caring, so I think that's cool. And we also see an explanation of sort of Nolan's book sales spiking to cover them financially, which I think is cool. More montagey bits. We've got the Guardians of the Globe battling each other and training. I think that's really cool. Also, throughout the episode, you see Rudy a few times, with his robot armor suit in the background. So we now know that Rudy is actually inhabiting at least a robot. So that's really cool. And we also see the White Room for the first time. I was quite surprised to see this, I think, actually. I don't remember if you actually see the White Room specifically in the comics this early, but it was really cool to see it, and then just all of the different things that they're doing in the room, like working on Immortal and all this stuff. Absolutely loved all of that. Really brilliant, and again, really nice teasers for the future. Another heartbreaking scene with Debbie crying. I actually got pretty emotional at a few points during this episode when it focused on Debbie and the horrible time that she's going through, and yeah, man, it does such a good job with that stuff. And then towards the end of the episode, we get to see Alan again, so it's great to see Alan back. Some more funny exchanges, and probably I think for me the key development for the future of the series. We hear about the Coalition of the Planets and more about the Viltrumite Empire, and it is great that Alan is saying, yeah, you've actually got a Viltrumite on Earth. So there's like obviously the nod there that the Coalition of the Planets already know about the Viltrumites, and I guess that the Viltrumites are basically famous throughout the universe, and Mark has only just learned it for himself. So that was really cool. And then this end montage with all the different moments. So we had the sequids, that was incredible, like all these teases of future plots. We had the Flaxons again, that was brilliant. Doc Seismic, now ruler of the underground, which was really cool. But my favourite of those teasers was the final shot before we go back to Invincible and Alan the Alien, which is the gold Reanimen with like the cool looking like American flag logo. They look really cool. I think they look amazingly. I think they look a lot better than their original design when D.A. Sinclair was just doing it out of a basement or whatever. This is the upgrades, and I absolutely love it. And there's one of my favourite little teasers in the comic. It's going to be so cool when that shows up here. Yeah, and that is it, guys. That is season 1 of Invincible. I thought it was absolutely incredible. It packed so much emotional punch. The animation, for the most part, has been incredible. It's been incredibly violent. The voice acting has been just superb, and yeah, blew me away. I was completely satisfied. It exceeded my expectations, and I absolutely love the changes that they've made. They've made some really sort of far-reaching changes in terms of pulling storylines in sooner, changing the way that things happen, but it still feels completely loyal to the comic book, and it's the same story. So, man, they've done such a good job. I am so excited for season 2. My big ones for season 2: Angstrom Levy. You'll know, if you know, you know. I would hope that he would actually be the main sort of focus of season 2, and I would guess probably Conquest as well, actually. So yeah, that's what I want to see in season 2. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you enjoyed the whole of Invincible season 1 in the comments below, and I'll catch you next. Make sure you subscribe, yeah, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.